and welcome to another edition of the Aura Podcast with your girl, Kubi Springer, with Dubai Bling superstar, Ebraheem. You will know him from the Netflix reality TV show stirring up all the drama, honey. And today he sat down with me to talk about that and so much more.
I see myself as a personality who kind of represents Dubai in a sense. A lot of people try to change my personality. I have no filter. I like to make people laugh. That's one of my things. Is I have an obsession with seeing people's reaction. I rather have 10 people to love me for who I am rather than having 1 million people to love me for who I'm not.
Say that again.
Yeah, in life you're either a leader or a follower, and it's not wrong being a leader and it's not wrong being a follower.
It was a conversation that was insightful, engaging, motivational, and full of the tea. Let's get into it. Today, I am with one of my dearest friends here in Dubai. You would have seen him in Dubai Bling. You would have seen him in Forever Rose. You would have seen him with the besties. You would have seen him, honey. Welcome, gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
It's
Thank
so
you.
good to have you here.
Yeah, especially in such a beautiful location.
Right? Can we just start with this?
Honestly, I have never been in such a beautiful podcast in my life.
Right.
So I could really say this is one of the best.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, and I don't think anyone can beat it.
I agree.
Yeah,
Say it again for the camera.
Nobody can beat it.
There we go.
Yeah, this is at the top,
Yes.
all the way up.
All the way up.
All the way up, or a Skypool.
Yes,
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. Talking of nobody can beat it and just being at the top, you really are at the top of your game right now.
Yeah, but I still want to go more.
I'm sure, but let's talk about where you are right now.
Yeah, currently, I believe that everywhere is a milestone. Before, I used to always try to do achievements like once a year, like I have a goal that I'd reach. But as you climb the ladder, it gets more tough, and you want to push more. So my goals literally came down to weekly at the moment. So I have weekly goals. Before it was like annually, monthly, now I reach weekly, and I know the next is going to be daily, and then probably in the future is going to be hourly, and hopefully down to the minute. I always want to achieve, and I see like everyone who I'm working with and people who I look up to in business, they're also doing the same thing.
I love that. You are so multifaceted. You've got Ebraheem the businessman, you've got the media personality, the influencer. I want to start with media because I feel like media is your engine for what you do in business. How are you in the media landscape right now? We're on season 3 of Dubai Bling.
Honestly, things happen always by mistake. The most beautiful things, potato chips, ketchup. Me, Ebraheem being in the media was also like random. When I was approached by Netflix, actually, I wasn't approached by Netflix. I was approached by a recruiter who said that you're going to be on the world's largest platform. And I was like, you know what? My dad taught me a motto in life, which is when you're in the ocean and you have waves, if you go against the waves, you get tired. So just go with the waves and see where the waves take you.
I love that.
So,
hold on.
Yeah.
As Oprah would say, that's a tweetable moment.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's a tweetable moment.
So the waves got me here,
Yeah.
today, and I'm in Dubai, and I see myself as a personality who kind of represents Dubai in a sense. Being on Dubai Bling makes anyone thinks Dubai, they associate Ebraheem with Dubai, So being in the media is very important that I keep my true, honest personality. A lot of people try to change my personality, say, you know what, do it this way or do it that way. And I'm like, you know what, I'm so sorry, I'm going to do it my way, I don't believe that. I see a lot of influencers, they all seem to be the same. A lot of celebrities seem to be the same. And I just wanted to be me. I wanted the world to appreciate me. I might not have everyone like me for who I am, but at least the people who do love me know that I'm truly Ebraheem.
Absolutely. And I've met you so many times off camera, and you are the same person. You do have the characteristic that's larger than life, but you also have this soft, really genuine care for people.
I really do,
Yeah.
and I do also. A lot of people see sometimes when they watch Dubai Bling, they do see a very tough Ebraheem, but I do have a softer side. I do have a love to society. I love people in general. I love different cultures. I love to learn different things. Filming Dubai Bling season 1, season 2, and now going into 3. And we're super excited for it because we've heard so many good things from the production saying that, this is a very interesting season. We don't know when is it going to come out. So I would love to give you a date, but myself, I don't know.
That's okay. We don't.
A lot of people think that we see the show before it airs.
You don't see it before it airs?
We see it with everyone else. So
So you guys doing like popcorn? Does everybody get together, or you do it solo?
every year we say that we all want to do it together, but then you want to watch it alone. I watched it 2 years in a row with Danya and DJ Bliss. This year, I feel like I just need to watch it because everyone wants to they want to receive their own scenes, and then it's like you end up losing the whole thing, you know. So like this year, I just want to sit down by myself, no family, no one, and I want to focus because I haven't been able to do that in the past 2 years.
You know, it's interesting, the character and the personification of who you are in season 1 and season 2 was so different. In season 2, what I loved seeing was your relationship with Dania. How much you helped her in business, you supported her, you started the besties together. Talk about that journey. How's it been?
So I genuinely love Dani as a sister.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's cool, right?
The thing about Dani is that a lot of people end up loving people based on relatable things or the way that they were raised. Dania reminds me of my youngest sister. She's with us, but she got married, so we kind of had this, not separation, but you know, she went on, she moved on. She's not my sister all the time, you know, she's also a wife to her husband. But Dania, even though she has a husband and she also has her family time, I'm still able to have that bond between me and a sister. And I just loved her as a person, as being genuine as well, you know. So we built the company together so we can see more of each other, but it's also very difficult too because, you know, she's also a mother, you know, for her children, and I try my best to be there for her, to teach her, to mentor her. Because we also want to grow this business together.
Yeah. Talking of businesses, Forever Rose is booming.
Yes.
Like it's booming.
So we're back again on the limelight because in the initial we were famous for the long life roses, and we're the first company to create the long life roses, and now everyone in the world like kind of has something similar to us. Some of them are copying, but hey, it is what it is, this business. So we said, you know what, we want to do our own version of the viral chocolate. So we said, let's launch it through our cafes. And you know, our cafes got famous because also we're the first to do the 3D cafe in the region. So we're not the first to create the Kanafa chocolate, but we are the first to create the better version of it, you know? So we made it with much better quality. And today is actually a very important day for me because we've launched it on an amazing platform called Kareem. Yay! I'm sure you guys know of Kareem. I chose Kareem personally because Kareem is a Dubai-based business. It started from here. They were inquired by Uber internationally as well. So what's amazing about Kareem is they're very much into the society. They're very much have a humanitarian cause as well. And I love that about them, and that's why I partnered with them. We're exclusive with them, so I'm not going to be in any other platform with our chocolates except for them.
That's so cool.
And we're going to also expand internationally with them as well. So they have also in Qatar, in Kuwait, in Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. So they're the right partner to have around the Middle East.
You are a really smart and savvy businessman.
I try to be.
You really are. I think people kind of sleep on you a little bit because of Dubai Bling. They don't realize just how smart and savvy you are. Talk us through, as a businessman, how you do the balance between Ebraheem, the media personality, and Ebraheem, the businessman, someone who has to mentor staff, deal with suppliers, investors. Yeah. How do you do that balance?
I believe that every part of the day requires a different version of you. Now, normally I have no filter. I like to make people laugh. That's one of my things. Is I have an obsession with seeing people's reaction. Sometimes if you're making them laugh, sometimes like scaring them doing this. So, but I believe that you need to be a different version of yourself in each part. So currently, I'm here as Ebraheem. I am motivational, right? Yeah. But if I'm with my friends, I try to be funny. And if I'm with my staff, I'm funny as well, but I'm also very serious and also have to lead them the right way, you know? So it's, when I'm in a business meeting, you know, I remember the first time I traveled on my honeymoon, I went to the US, right? And we were there, and right before I had to leave, so the last day of the booked honeymoon, my brother calls me and says, like, listen, there's an important exhibition that we have to attend to in Chicago. And it was the last day of my honeymoon. So I asked my wife, I said, you have two options. You want to go back to Dubai by yourself, or you want to come to the, I didn't even finish the sentence, like, coming with you, you know? So she came with me to our exhibition, and I said, listen, you go do your thing. So it was a food exhibition. It was like, kind of like a Gulf food, but it was in America, in Chicago. And I was like, you do your thing, let me do your thing, let me do my thing, right? So she went around, going around and checking, and she kept creeping around me every time I was in a meeting. And I was like, I'm seeing her, she's like, hi. And I'm like, okay, hi. You know? And I didn't want, because I didn't want people like, I feel shy for like people like to come and like, you know, to me and tell them like I'm in my honeymoon or whatever. Anyways, so after I finished, she was like, I never saw that side of you. I'm like, what do you mean? I never saw the business side of you. I love it. You know, I want to see more of it because I'm very serious when it comes to business. So like I said, it's very important to balance your life and to be a different version of yourself in different parts of the day even.
I love that, because I think definitely, and I'm sure a lot of the women that watch this will relate to this, we often feel like it's an either or, not an and. And actually what you're saying is give yourself permission to be and. I'm funny and I'm serious and I'm intelligent and I'm motivational. I love that, babe.
Even during like meetings, I always try to break the ice. I want every meeting that I go to that it's light, you know? My dad always told me, when you enter into a room, try to be as light as possible. Try to give good energy. Try to give more than you take, right? So sometimes I go into meetings and I see one or two person in that meeting, they're a bit stuck up, too professional, I don't joke with them. I keep my boundaries. Even with employees, if I joke with an employee and they don't like my jokes, like, you know, if I'm teasing too much or whatever I'm doing, I don't joke with them anymore. You know, I say, listen, you are an employee and you have the right to feel comfortable in your job. And if you don't like me joking, I have to respect that. Even though I'm the boss, I still have to respect, because I have to make you feel comfortable as well.
I think that's so amazing how you handle your staff. I wonder, what are some of your business philosophies, things that have enabled you to be so successful?
There's quite a few different philosophies that I've learned from my father, and I can say I was literally brainwashed by them. A few of them start like, never bomb a bridge behind you. So let's say, for example,
never bomb a bridge behind you.
Yeah, so always, you never know when you would need someone. So even an employee, if I had a bad employee who was just horrible, right? I'm not going to try to hurt them. I'm not going to break that relationship. They did something wrong. No one is perfect. I always keep that respect. Even a lot of times I go to different businesses and I see my employees who we had to let go, or some employee who's moved on. I meet them as if I met them for the first time also. Like, I give them, like, as if whatever happened didn't happen. I hug them, I ask them how are they, how is everything. I tell them I miss them and I wish them the best, you know. So never bomb the bridge behind you. Treat people as you want to be treated. That's very important. And like the thing I told you about the waves, you know, ride the wave, because if you go against it, you get tired.
Let me ask you about that one, because that one sounds easy, but it's so hard. Right? When you're going in a direction, and people like you and I, A-type personalities, super ambitious, you're in a direction. What is it within you that has to be released to just be like, okay, I'm going to go with this?
You know, I always say choose your battles wisely, and you can't win every battle. So if you like, again, it's the same metaphor. So if you try to fight everything, you're gonna get tired. You know, you have your red lines. If your red lines is not crossed, then continue and let that journey to take you to this destination that you don't know where it might end you up, but you would learn from it. You know what I mean? So being optimistic, being open-minded, giving people the benefit of the doubt is very important. And getting out of your safe zone also is also very important. Yeah, because like, think about something. A lot of people are like, well, you know, I don't feel safe investing this money in that, you know. But if you don't do it, if you don't try, then you're not going to succeed.
Get out of your safe zone.
Yeah, so you have to get off your safe zone. Keep your morals high. Keep your, we call in Arabic your mabadi', the things that, your red lines, your things that are important to you.
How do you call it in Arabic?
Al-mabadi', Al-mabadi' is like, I don't know how to explain it in English, because some words are not directly translated into English.
What's the essence of it?
The essence is of your core beliefs, I would say.
Got it.
You know, you have these fundamental beliefs, and that's your mabadi' in life. Your ethics, I would say.
Your ethics. You are so good at doing that.
Yes.
That's one thing I really respect. Without going into the details of the content, but you use, whether it be your Instagram platform or any platform you're on, to speak to truth.
100%.
Do you ever feel afraid?
I think we are afraid all the time to be judged, but if we let it go and we be who we are, we will ultimately have the people who genuinely love us around us. I'd rather have 10 people to love me for who I am, rather than having 1 million people to love me for who I'm not.
Say that again.
Yeah, so those 10 people are my people. I call them my people. And I know they're a lot more than 10. I'm being humble by saying 10.
Yes,
they're probably like 10 million, you know?
Baby.
And you know what happens is, a lot of times if someone judged me a certain way on social media, when they get to meet me, they feel so bad. And they come up to me, they're like, I have to be honest, I'm one of the people who were doing the wrong comments, and I take them all back. I did not mean it. And I'm like, you don't judge a book by its cover, you know? I might have given a certain way in my social media to attract an audience, but I'm definitely not who you think I am. I'm a whole different person. And the more you get to know me, the more you understand what type of person that I am. And the one thing, I'm not going to talk good about myself, but the only thing that I can guarantee you is that I have zero animosity towards anyone, and I wish everyone the best.
I love that.
You know, even my biggest competitors in business, I wish them the best. You know, like for example, this whole Dubai chocolate thing, I'm the one who created a video for the Dubai chocolate with Mona Katan. And even me selling the same chocolate, which is a competing brand, I didn't remove the video. The video got 2.4 million views. I could have removed it when I did, but I was like, no. I respect what they did as a business. I appreciate them making it viral, but I just made it better. Sorry, but I made it better.
But I just made it better. I love that. What does the future hold for you, Ebraheem?
I hope the future holds for me good things. One thing that I do want to work more on is I want to open, well, I already have it, but I just don't promote it as much. I have an advisory firm, which I advise people to get into business, right? And one of the things that I want to do is I want more people to be able to do businesses, because I know business opens opportunity for so many people. And I want to identify those people, and people don't really understand. Some business people are actually made to be business people, but they don't know it. And some people who are not business people are getting to business for the wrong reasons.
Agreed.
You know, and I try to explain to them, like, listen, by a 2-minute chat, I can tell you if you're a business person or not.
If you're made for this life or not.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just some people are much better off having a boss and going to a 9 to 5.
And there's no right.
There's no wrong. There's no wrong.
Right.
In life, you're either a leader or a follower, and it's not wrong being a leader, and it's not wrong being a follower. People are like, no, I'm a leader. Well, no, you're not. You're a follower, and it's not a problem being a follower. We have to have a balance between leader and followers for us to have a sustainable environment.
Ecosystem. I love that. You're known for many, many things, but when you're done, what will be your brand legacy?
Ebraheem, the people person, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm all for the people. I'm all for society. I'm all for humanity. I'm all for normalizing things. You know, I'm not really into the tech industry. I'm not really into this artificial intelligence. I believe we need to bring back humanity. I don't mind to get rid of my smartphone and get a dumb phone. I want those old days back. You know, when I look at America in the 1990s, I feel so sad, because we had those amazing moments in the mall, and it wasn't superficial, and you weren't judged about what you're wearing, and it's just I believe the world's going kind of in the wrong direction. But there's a lot of people who want to bring it back to how we used to do things before, which is, you know, one-to-one. You know, like being a human, understanding each other, getting a little bit off the tech, and being more people person. Like stop talking and doing Zoom calls and start meeting like we used to. You know, for me, all my great deals, all my business deals was done on a dinner. It wasn't done in the office. So connecting human to human is very important, and understanding each other. It's different from us being here face to face. Imagine if we were on a Skype call, you know?
Yeah.
It
Well,
won't
we
be
wouldn't
the
have
same.
this, first of all. Why?
Come on.
Unless we
I'm
did
getting
all
a
it-
tan and doing a podcast at the
At
same
the same
time.
time.
And when this is over, I'm going to jump in this pool.
You are absolutely.
I'm
jumping
really
in the
thinking
pool.
about jumping now.
You're gonna jump in
But I have
now?
a mic on, and I don't want to
I
ruin
can
it.
take the mic off, honey. We can B-roll this. Ebraheem, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
I want to thank you because you are always showing up.
Yeah.
You're always speaking to truth.
You know, when you told me, honestly, like
Yeah.
we did a podcast before, right?
Yeah.
But when you told me I'm going to be coming to the Aura Skypool,
Yeah.
I'd seen this beautiful place all over social media. And what more beautiful way to have it just for myself,
Right.
you know? I've heard that this places get booked every single day. And when you told me, they're like, you know, you want to try it? I'm like, let me try it right after the podcast. That way I have it to myself.
Yes.
So that is a once in a lifetime experience. And I appreciate the team for doing that for me, because I needed time to relax, because my day's been so crazy. I've been through so much with this chocolate. I told you about the battle that we had with the previous supplier that, you know, tried to raise the price 40% higher. And I made a video on social media saying that, you know, twist my arm once and you can twist my arm twice. And if you twist my arm twice, I only have 2 arms. So don't let someone take advantage of you the first time, because they will always do.
Yes.
And just being through all these things is like up and down of the city. I needed time to relax. And this is the most quiet place I've seen in Dubai in such a long time. All you can hear is the sound of the wind. Peace.
It's peace. Yes. And on that note, we're going to let Ebraheem go into the swimming pool, chill out, relax, and enjoy some peace.
You coming with me?
No, honey,
Why not?
because it's your time.
I love you.
I love you more. Until next time, guys.
This podcast was hosted by brand marketing expert QB Springer and produced by Avant-Garde Brand Experiences and Aura Skypool.